Hello, hello, English learners. Welcome to the Easy English podcast from English Life Channel, your comfortable place for learning English through real, everyday conversations. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Alex. Sarah, I had one of those mornings today.
One of those mornings? What happened?
I was already running late, and just as I reached the front door, I realized I couldn't find my keys.
Oh no. Where did you look first?
Everywhere except the place where they actually were. I checked my jacket, my desk, the kitchen counter, the couch, and even the bathroom.
The bathroom?
I was under pressure. My logic had left the building.
Fair enough. So where were they?
Inside a grocery bag from last night.
Inside the bag?
Yes. I came home carrying groceries, put the bag on a chair, dropped the keys inside it, and completely forgot. Then this morning, I spent 10 minutes searching for something I had hidden from myself.
You created your own mystery.
With no reward at the end.
Only the privilege of being late.
It felt bigger than a missing key problem. I remember standing there thinking, why does every morning feel like an emergency? I hadn't even left home, and I already felt behind.
That is the part many people will recognize. Sometimes a stressful morning does not begin in the morning. It begins with one small, unfinished action the night before.
Right. If I had taken 10 seconds to put my keys in the same place, the whole morning would have felt different.
And that is what we are talking about today. Small habits that can change your life.
Not a new life by Monday?
No. No dramatic routine that requires perfect energy, perfect timing, and a completely different personality.
Good. I do not have any of those things before breakfast.
Most of us don't. We are talking about tiny actions that improve what happens next. A small habit may not transform your life in one moment, but it can improve the moments, conversations, and decisions that follow.
And better moments can slowly create a better day.
Your keys are only the beginning. The same 10-second principle can change how you use your phone, practice English, handle a difficult message, and speak to yourself at the end of the day.
So the habits become more personal as we continue.
They do. Your key problem is our first example of a transition habit.
I think I know what you mean. It is a habit that helps you move from one part of the day to another.
Yes, arriving home is a transition. Waking up is a transition. Finishing work is a transition. Going to bed is a transition.
So I entered my apartment, but I never properly finished the coming home part.
That's it. Your groceries, keys, bag, and receipts all stayed mixed together.
My whole apartment is one long unfinished sentence.
Haha, a creative sentence.
With terrible punctuation.
What small action could close that moment?
When I enter the apartment, I put my keys in one bowl and hang my bag beside the door.
Clear, simple, and useful.
It still sounds almost too small.
The action is small. The stress it prevents is not. Those 10 seconds tonight can protect tomorrow morning.
I like that. I am not organizing my entire life. I am making the next moment easier.
That is the central idea of this episode.
Then my first habit is official. Keys in the bowl.
And if practical English conversations like this help you, please like the episode and subscribe to English Life Channel. Your support helps us keep making useful English practice for you.
Short, painless, and easier than finding my keys.
Much easier. Now, your key bowl prepares the next morning. But there is another small habit that can change how the morning begins.
Let me guess. Do not lose the phone too?
Not exactly. My problem was that I checked my phone before I even got out of bed.
That sounds normal.
It is common, but common does not always mean helpful.
What did you check?
Work messages, email, news, social media, sometimes all of them before I had opened the curtains.
That is a lot of information for someone who has not even had water.
One morning, I opened a work message that said, "Can we discuss the report when you have a moment?"
That sounds polite.
It was polite, but my half-awake brain translated it differently.
How differently?
There is a serious problem. You made a mistake. Everyone is disappointed. Your career is over.
Your brain produced an entire disaster from one calm sentence.
It did. I stayed in bed thinking about the report. Then I checked my email for more information. Then I opened the report on my phone and started reading it on a tiny screen.
Before standing up?
Before standing up.
That sounds exhausting.
It was. The message itself was not the main problem. I had not chosen how to begin my morning. Other people's messages had chosen for me.
So you were reacting before you were fully awake?
Yes, I was operating on autopilot.
Autopilot means doing something automatically without consciously deciding to do it.
Nicely explained.
I know this one because I have opened social media on autopilot many times.
What happens?
I pick up my phone to check the weather. Then I see a notification, answer a message, watch a short video, and forget the weather.
Then you look outside and discover it is raining.
Correct. I still do not know the forecast, but I do know what a stranger cooked for lunch.
Essential information.
Life-changing.
I did not decide to ban my phone. I created one small rule. Before reading messages, I had to complete one intentional action.
Intentional means you choose it for a clear reason.
Right. I opened the curtains and drank a glass of water.
That was the whole routine?
That was the whole routine. I did not meditate for an hour, exercise, write 3 pages, prepare a perfect breakfast, and become a wiser human being before 7 o'clock.
We are so happy you are here with us today. That routine would require waking up yesterday.
Opening the curtains brought light into the room. Drinking water required me to stand up. By the time I checked my phone, I was more awake and less reactive.
The messages still existed, but they did not control the first moment.
That is the difference. I still handled my responsibilities. I simply entered them intentionally.
So the habit is not, phones are bad.
No. The question is whether you are choosing the action or performing it on autopilot.
What could listeners do before checking their phones?
Choose one action that takes less than 2 minutes. Open the window, wash your face, make the bed, stretch your shoulders. Write one sentence about what matters today.
One sentence sounds useful.
It could be, "Today I want to finish one important task before lunch." Or, "Today I need to stay calm during my meeting."
That gives the morning some direction before notifications start requesting attention.
Exactly.
My action will be opening the window.
Why that action?
It will remind me that there is an actual world outside my screen.
That is both practical and philosophical.
Mostly practical.
What if you forget tomorrow?
I try again the next morning. I do not announce that my life plan has failed.
Good. A habit is not a test of your character. It is a choice you practice when the moment returns.
So far, we have one habit that closes the evening and one that opens the morning. But my morning may begin well, and by 3 o'clock, I sometimes feel like a different person.
What changes?
My body is still at the desk, but my brain has left. Last week, I read the same paragraph 3 times and understood almost nothing.
What did you do?
I opened another tab, which was apparently my solution to having too many tabs open. Then I typed 2 sentences into the wrong document.
That sounds like a sign to pause.
I ignored it. A coworker asked where I had saved a file, and I felt irritated before she finished speaking.
Was the question difficult?
Not at all. I was sluggish. My shoulders were stiff, my eyes were tired, and even normal English seemed faster than usual.
Sluggish means low in energy or slower than usual. What did you think you needed?
More coffee.
Did it help?
It helped me hold a warm cup while continuing to feel tired.
Sometimes the better response is a 60-second movement reset.
What does that involve?
Stand up, roll your shoulders, walk to another room or a window, and take 3 calm breaths. Then return without your phone.
That sounds too easy to count as exercise.
It is not meant to replace exercise. It marks the transition between one task and the next.
When should I use it?
Connect it to a cue. When a video call ends, stand before opening another tab. When a long task ends, move briefly before starting the next one.
I tried that after typing into the wrong document. I walked to the kitchen, stretched my back, filled a glass of water, and stood near the window.
At least you knew where your keys were.
Let's not introduce unrelated criticism.
Fair enough. How did you feel afterward?
Not transformed, but less trapped inside the task. I had shaken off some of the tiredness.
To shake something off means to reduce or release an unpleasant feeling.
I took a short walk to shake off the afternoon tiredness.
That sounds natural after a long work session.
I also reread the paragraph. It did not become easy, but I could follow it again.
That matters for English learners. When attention is exhausted, familiar language can feel too fast. After a reset, listen to one sentence again and notice whether it feels clearer.
I was also more patient when my coworker asked another question.
Physical tiredness can spill over into the way we speak. A short reset may protect the next conversation as well as the next task.
Let me practice. After I finish a long task, I stand up for 1 minute so I can begin the next task with more attention.
That sentence connects the cue to the result.
Do you use this reset?
Yes, I close the laptop, place my feet on the floor, and take 1 breath before standing. I remind myself, the task is finished. This is a new moment.
That creates a mental transition too.
Right. The movement helps my body, and the sentence helps my attention.
Listeners, say it with us. The task is finished. This is a new moment.
Use it after work, study, or any activity that leaves your mind crowded.
That helps when I am tired, but sometimes I have enough energy and still cannot begin.
Then the problem may not be energy, it may be friction.
I was hoping that story would remain private.
It teaches an important lesson.
Fine, I had planned to practice English after dinner. Nothing extreme. I wanted to listen to a short conversation and write down a few useful expressions.
Reasonable.
I sat at the table and looked for my headphones. They were not there. I checked my backpack, the couch, and 2 drawers. Eventually, I found them under a pile of mail.
At least you found them.
The battery was dead.
Of course it was.
Then I looked for the charger. It was in another room. When I brought it back, I realized my notebook was missing too.
How long had you been preparing?
About 12 minutes. I had practiced for exactly 0 minutes.
And what did you think?
This is becoming too much work. I'll do it tomorrow.
That is friction.
Friction means a small obstacle that makes an action harder to begin or continue. The missing headphones were friction. The dead battery was more friction. The missing notebook was even more.
Look at you teaching the lesson.
I experienced the research personally.
None of those obstacles was serious alone. Together, they made a simple activity feel inconvenient.
And the inconvenience changed my decision.
People often blame themselves in situations like this. They say, I have no discipline, or I am lazy. But sometimes the environment is making the useful action unnecessarily difficult.
So instead of criticizing myself, I should examine the first obstacle.
Yes, maybe you want to walk, but your shoes are hidden in a closet. Maybe you want to read, but the book is in another room. Maybe you want to practice English, but but your headphones have begun a new life under the mail.
How do we reduce friction?
Prepare the first visible step.
Not the entire activity?
Just the beginning. Charge the headphones and leave them beside the notebook. Put the walking shoes near the door. Place the book where you will see it.
The environment gives you a gentle invitation.
That is a good way to describe it.
Because when I finish dinner, the couch is already prepared.
The couch is always prepared.
It offers comfort, requires no equipment, and produces immediate results.
The couch is an excellent salesperson.
So the useful choice needs a fair chance.
Yes, you gave the useful action a fair chance. What did you do the next day?
In the afternoon, I charged my headphones, placed them beside the notebook, and opened the lesson I wanted to use.
What happened after dinner?
I saw everything waiting on the table. I sat down and practiced for 15 minutes.
The important change was not the length.
No, it was that I did not have to search, charge, organize, and choose before beginning.
You removed effort that did not help the activity.
Searching for a charger does not improve my English.
Writing a useful sentence does.
But even when the materials are ready, how does my brain know when to begin?
That is where a cue helps.
A cue is a signal connected to an action.
Yes, finishing dinner could be your cue to practice. You already finish dinner every evening, so you connect the new action to an existing moment.
Then when I plug in my phone at night, I can also plug in my headphones.
That is another strong cue. The first action already exists, so the second one is easier to remember.
I am not waiting for tomorrow's motivation. I am preparing tomorrow's first step tonight.
That is the lesson.
There is one more problem. Sometimes I understand a lesson, but the next day I cannot remember the useful phrases.
What do you usually do when you hear a good expression?
I think, that is great. I will definitely remember it.
And do you?
Almost never.
Recognition is not active use. After each session, choose one sentence you can imagine saying in real life.
Only one?
1. Write it down, say it slowly twice, and change it in small ways.
Can we try that with today's language?
Start with, I was doing it on autopilot.
I was checking my phone on autopilot this morning.
That is understandable. But for one completed action, I checked my phone on autopilot this morning, sounds more direct.
I checked my phone on autopilot this morning.
Now change the context.
I opened the refrigerator on autopilot, even though I wasn't hungry.
Change the time.
I usually check social media on autopilot when I feel bored.
Good. You kept one useful pattern, but changed the time and situation.
That feels more active than repeating the same sentence.
Repetition helps pronunciation. Transformation helps you build language.
Let me try another expression. Keeping my notebook in a drawer creates unnecessary friction, so I leave it on the table.
That version includes both the problem and the solution.
And yesterday, my frustration spilled over into a conversation with my brother.
That sentence is honest and useful.
So one sentence can practice vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and personal expression together.
Exactly. Reuse it later in a conversation, voice note, journal entry, or while speaking to yourself.
My habit is, choose one complete sentence, repeat it, personalize it, change it, and use it again.
Keep the process short. It should take only a few minutes.
Listeners, practice these models with us.
I checked my phone on autopilot this morning.
Keeping my notebook in a drawer creates unnecessary friction.
I need a short reset before I respond.
Choose one sentence, change the time or context, and make the new sentence true for your life.
Do not try to sound impressive. Try to sound clear and honest.
One sentence can improve my English. But can one sentence improve a relationship?
It can. I learned that because of an old friend named Maya.
How long had it been since you talked?
Longer than I wanted to admit.
Weeks?
Months.
And you kept thinking about contacting her?
Almost every week, I would see something that reminded me of her and think, I should reach out.
To reach out means to contact someone because you want to connect, check on them, or offer support.
Right, but I kept putting it off.
Why?
At first, I thought I lacked time for a proper message. Then more time passed, and the message felt emotionally heavier.
Because now you felt responsible for explaining the silence.
Exactly. I thought I needed a long apology and a complete explanation.
The longer you waited, the more emotional friction you created.
One evening, I passed a bookstore we used to visit together. I opened our chat and wrote several formal sentences explaining where I had been.
Did it sound like you?
No, it sounded like a statement prepared for a committee, so I deleted it.
What did you write instead?
I passed that little bookstore we used to visit, and it made me think of you. How have you been?
Did you send it immediately?
My thumb stayed above the send button. I almost closed the chat again.
What stopped you?
I realized that waiting another week would not make the message easier. It would only make the silence longer.
So you sent it.
I did, she replied 10 minutes later.
What did she say?
I was thinking about you last week. I'm really glad you wrote.
That must have felt good.
It did. The message did not need to repair several months at once. It only needed to reopen the conversation.
So a small relationship habit could be sending a short message when someone genuinely comes to mind.
One specific reason and one sincere question.
I heard a song you used to play in the car. How have you been?
Or, I remembered our conversation about your new job. How is it going?
Connection often needs less performance and more honesty.
I am keeping that sentence.
Please do.
Think of someone you have been meaning to contact. 2 sincere lines may be enough to begin.
Starting the conversation was one small habit. But once Maya replied, how did you keep it going?
By listening for one detail and asking a genuine follow-up question.
To follow up means to ask for more information after the first answer.
Right. Many conversations end because no one responds to the interesting detail.
I may be guilty of that.
Let's hear the version that closes the conversation. I will say, my weekend was exhausting.
Oh, okay.
And now it is over.
Very efficient.
Too efficient. Try again. My weekend was exhausting.
What made it so tiring?
I helped my sister move to a new apartment.
Did everything go smoothly?
The elevator stopped working halfway through the day.
What did you do?
We carried several boxes up the stairs. Now we have a real conversation.
So a follow-up question is a listening habit, not an interview technique.
Exactly. Fluency also means helping another person continue naturally.
Let's try another one.
I had a difficult meeting this morning.
Oh, that sounds stressful. Are you enjoying it so far?
Grammatically correct, completely wrong for the situation.
Yai selected the wrong follow-up. What made the meeting difficult?
The discussion kept changing, and no one made a decision.
What are you going to do next?
That works, because it responds directly to what I said.
Useful questions include, what happened next? How did you feel afterward? And, what was the hardest part?
But the best question comes from a specific detail, not a memorized list.
If someone says, my dog ate my shoe, I should not ask, are you enjoying it so far?
Haha, excellent pronunciation, terrible listening.
Understood.
When Maya mentioned her new schedule, I asked, what has been the hardest part? That led to a real conversation.
The message reopened the door, and the follow-up question helped both of you walk through it.
During one conversation today, listen for one detail and ask one sincere question.
A good follow-up question slows a conversation down in a helpful way.
And sometimes slowing down prevents a conversation from going badly.
I believe this is where my manager enters the episode.
Yes, what happened?
I received a message on a Tuesday afternoon. It said, "Please check the numbers in the second section. I think something may be missing."
That does not sound especially harsh.
It was not harsh, but I had spent the day feeling rushed, so I did not read it calmly.
What did you think it meant?
She thinks I am careless.
Did she say that?
No, then I thought, I need to explain myself immediately.
What did you write?
The numbers were correct when I checked them, and I was working with the information I received.
You had not checked the report yet?
Not once.
So you were reacting before checking the facts.
Yes, my shoulders were tight, my jaw was tense, and my fingers were moving faster than my judgment.
That physical detail matters. Sometimes your body notices the emotional reaction before your mind names it.
I was about to press send when I noticed how hard I was holding the mouse.
What happened next?
I took my hand away and stood up.
One small interruption.
I walked to the kitchen, drank water, and took one slow breath. The feeling did not disappear, but the pause gave me enough space to ask a better question.
Which was?
What does this message actually say?
Instead of, what am I afraid it means?
Right. I returned to the report and checked the second section.
And?
One number was missing.
Your manager was correct.
Completely correct. I added the number and replied, "Thanks for catching that. I have updated the second section."
Very different from the first message.
Much better. Also much shorter.
That story shows the difference between reacting and responding.
A reaction is the first emotional impulse. A response is the action you choose after you understand the situation more clearly.
Well explained.
I am learning.
The habit was not never feel defensive. That would be unrealistic.
The habit was to pause before turning the feeling into words.
One breath, one physical step away, or one neutral holding sentence can protect the conversation.
Such as, "I have seen your message. Let me check this, and I will get back to you."
The same pause can protect decisions that do not involve another person.
Such as what?
The transition between wanting something and paying for it.
The checkout page.
Exactly. The desire has appeared, but the decision is not complete. Have you ever wanted to buy something at night that felt unnecessary the next morning?
I feel personally attacked again.
What did you almost buy?
Expensive adjustable exercise equipment. The advertisement showed a person using it in a bright, organized room. For a few minutes, I believed the purchase would also give me the room, the discipline, and those shoulders.
The shoulders were not included?
Apparently not. The sale ended at midnight, so I added everything to my cart.
The deadline created urgency.
Yes, I imagined waking early, exercising every morning, and becoming extremely organized.
All because of one purchase?
I was one click away from paying when I asked, "Where would I put this equipment?"
Beside the bowl where you keep your keys?
Probably beside the grocery bag where I keep other important possessions.
That grocery bag again?
The question slowed me down. I told myself, this is not an emergency. I can sleep on it.
To sleep on something means to wait until the next day before deciding.
I closed the page. That separated the impulse from the purchase.
The checkout page became a transition, and closing it created a pause.
The next morning, I measured my apartment.
And?
I barely had enough room to open the box.
Useful information.
Very useful. I realized I had almost bought it on impulse.
An impulse is a sudden, strong desire to do something without much thought.
I did not buy it. I used the exercise mat I already owned.
The pause separated a real need from the emotional story around the product.
Sometimes we are buying an imagined version of ourselves.
The organized version, who definitely uses every piece of equipment.
My rule could be, if a non-essential purchase costs more than a certain amount, I wait until tomorrow.
That gives the transition a clear action.
I almost bought the equipment on impulse, but I decided to sleep on it.
Now use sleep on it outside shopping.
I received a job offer, but I want to sleep on it before I decide.
Good. You can sleep on a purchase, offer, plan, or other non-urgent decision.
A pause can protect money, time, a message, or a conversation.
But what if the emotion follows you into the next part of the day?
Then we need to talk about how stress spills over.
Explain what spill over means.
It means the effect of one situation moves into another. Stress from work can spill over into dinner at home. Irritation from one meeting can spill over into the next conversation.
Have you experienced that?
Many times, something goes wrong during the day, and later someone asks an innocent question. I answer as though they caused the entire problem.
What could interrupt that?
A reset before entering the next situation.
What would your reset look like?
Maybe I relax my shoulders and say, I am frustrated about work. This person is not the cause.
That is honest. The habit does not erase the emotion. It stops the emotion from automatically choosing your next action.
So one breath can protect a conversation.
And one short reflection can protect an entire day from being judged unfairly.
What do you mean?
I had an evening when I decided that my whole day had been wasted.
What happened?
I had planned to finish an important document, but by 8 o'clock, it was still incomplete.
So you focused on the unfinished task.
Completely. I closed the laptop a little harder than necessary and thought, I did nothing useful today.
Was that true?
Not at all. I had made a difficult phone call, prepared food for the next 2 days, and helped a family member solve a problem.
Those actions became quiet because the unfinished document was louder.
Exactly. I carried my cup into the kitchen while repeating, I wasted the day.
What interrupted that verdict?
I noticed a note on the counter about the phone call. It reminded me that I had completed something difficult.
So you reviewed the day using evidence.
Yes. The whole day was wasted, was the verdict. The evidence was, I made the call. I prepared food. I helped someone. I did not finish the document.
The unfinished task was still real, but it was no longer the whole story.
Right. I did not need to pretend the day was perfect. I needed to see more than the loudest problem.
Is that when you created the 3-sentence reflection?
Yes. Before bed, I name one thing I moved forward, one thing I appreciated, and one thing I am intentionally leaving for tomorrow.
Give me an example.
I moved forward by making the phone call. I appreciated having a quiet lunch. I am intentionally leaving the final page for tomorrow morning.
That sounds like a key goal for your mind.
I like that comparison.
The unfinished thought has a place to go, so you do not search for it emotionally all night.
Exactly. Perspective is not forced positivity. It is seeing the complete situation.
Listeners can try the 3 sentences tonight.
I moved forward by,
I appreciated.
I am intentionally leaving for tomorrow.
The habit does not erase disappointment. It prevents disappointment from erasing everything else. I have noticed something. Every habit in this episode appears at a transition.
Yes, entering the house, waking up, finishing work, ending dinner, thinking about a friend, receiving a difficult message, reaching a checkout page, ending the day.
Transitions are moments when the next action has not been chosen yet.
And a tiny habit can guide that choice.
How can listeners know which moment to improve first?
Choose the transition that repeatedly creates the most unnecessary stress.
Not necessarily the most impressive habit.
Right. A problem that happens once every 6 months is probably not the best place to begin.
But a small problem that makes every morning stressful deserves attention.
And a habit requiring 40 minutes on a busy day may create too much friction.
So begin with a repeated moment, one clear action, and an immediate benefit.
Let's use your keys again. What is the transition?
Arriving home.
What goes wrong?
I put my keys and bag in random places.
What action improves what follows?
I put my keys in the bowl and hang my bag beside the door.
What is the cue?
Touching the inside door handle.
What friction must be removed?
The bowl must actually be near the door. Tired Alex does not accept unnecessary travel.
We know him well. What if you forget?
I try again the next time I enter. The next cue is another opportunity.
That is the method. Notice the repeated transition, choose one action, connect it to a cue, and remove unnecessary friction.
Can I describe it using today's vocabulary?
Please do.
I used to drop my keys on autopilot wherever I saw an empty surface. Now the door handle is my cue to put them in the bowl. The habit reduces friction and stops yesterday's disorder from spilling over into tomorrow.
You just reviewed several expressions naturally.
Let's turn the review into a retrieval challenge.
What expression means doing something automatically?
On autopilot.
What word describes an obstacle that makes beginning harder?
Friction.
What signal reminds you to act?
A cue.
What word describes something chosen for a clear reason?
Intentional.
What can return a space or feeling to a useful condition?
A reset.
And when stress from one situation affects another?
It spills over.
Now use the language in one short conversation. Why did you change your morning routine?
I was checking my phone on autopilot, so I chose one intentional action before reading messages.
What is your cue?
Opening the window is my cue to pause and reset.
How did you make English practice easier?
I reduced friction by charging my headphones and leaving my notebook on the table.
What about stressful work days?
I try not to let stress spill over into my evening.
The vocabulary sounds natural because every expression is connected to a real experience.
It has somewhere to live.
More importantly, small habits do not need to look impressive.
The bowl can protect tomorrow morning.
A movement reset can protect your attention.
A prepared notebook and one practice sentence can protect an English session.
A message and follow-up question can protect a friendship.
One breath can protect a conversation.
Sleeping on a decision can protect time and money.
And 3 honest sentences can protect a day from one unfinished task.
Small habits matter because they influence what happens next. You do not need to control every hour. Notice one repeated moment where a better next choice is possible.
Let's give listeners one final speaking pattern.
Use 3 complete sentences.
The transition I want to improve is arriving home.
My small action is putting my keys in the bowl.
This will make tomorrow morning easier.
Now an English practice example.
The transition I want to improve is finishing dinner.
My small action is practicing one useful English sentence.
This will make daily speaking practice easier.
Choose one real transition and say all 3 sentences aloud.
Then tell us in the comments, what small habit will you try, and what will it make easier?
If this conversation helped you practice natural English, please like the video and subscribe to English Life channel.
Your support helps us continue making these episodes.
Tomorrow morning, when you find your keys immediately, remember that the change began the night before.
And if I still lose them?
Then we already have the topic for our next episode.
Fair enough.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Be patient with yourself, stay curious, and remember that a calmer day can begin with one small action at the right moment.
Take care, keep practicing, and we will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone.